Welcome to Amazing Life 1-2 channel guides. Today you watching Jodie Foster. American actress. Lifestyle biography and beautiful photos. I hope you enjoy this video. Like, share, subscribe channel. Thank you for watching video. Your favorite actress, model, singer, celebrity biography photos, images. If you want to see, please comment. Starting. Gender female. Age 60 years old in 2023. Date of birth November 19, 1962. Real name Alicia Christian Jodie Foster. Profession actress, director, producer. Nationality American. Birthplace Los Angeles, California, United States. Zodiac sign Scorpio. Height, weight and physical stats. Body measurements 3'4", 2'4", 3'3". Body type athletic. Height 5 feet 3 inches 1.60 meters. Weight 55 kilograms 121 pounds. Waist 24 inches. Hair color brown light. Eye color blue. Shoe size 8 US. Jodie Foster. Education. Qualification. Yale University. School. College Preparatory School. Jodie Foster. Career. Profession. Actress, director, producer. Known for Taxi Driver. Net worth USD $100 million. Approximately. Family and relatives. Father Lucius Fisher Foster III. Mother Evelyn Ella Almond. Brother Buddy Foster. Sister Cindy Foster Jones. Connie Foster. Marital status. Married. Husband Alexandra Hedison M. 2014. Children. 2. Son Charles Bernard Foster, Kit Bernard Foster. Daughter. None. Past relationships. Cynthia Moore 2008. Russell Crowe 1999. Sydney Bernard 1993-2008. Kelly McGillis 1988. Julian Sands 1988-1989. Jennifer Beals 1983-1986. Tina Landau 1981-1983. Gina Shaw. What Jodie Foster is doing right now. Jodie Foster is currently working in the Mauritanian. Jodie Foster favorites. Favorite movie. The 400 Blows 1959, The Deer Hunter 1978. Favorite food. Organic food. Favorite books. Franny and Zoe J.D. Salinger. Biography. Alicia Christian. Jodie Foster, born November 19, 1962, is an American actress, director, and producer. She has received 2 Academy Awards, 3 British Academy Film Awards, 2 Golden Globe Awards, and the Cecil B. DeMille Award. For her work as a director, she has been nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award. Foster began her professional career as a child model when she was 3 years old, and she made her acting debut in 1968 in the television sitcom Mayberry RFD. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, she worked in several television series and made her film debut with Disney's Napoleon and Samantha 1972. Following appearances in the musical Tom Sawyer 1973 and Martin Scorsese's comedy drama Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore 1974, Foster's breakthrough came with Scorsese's psychological thriller Taxi Driver 1976, in which she played a child prostitute. At age 14, she received a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Her other roles as a teenager include the musical Bugsy Malone 1976 and the thriller The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane 1976, and she became a popular teen idol by starring in Disney's Freaky Friday 1976 and Candleshoe 1977, as well as Carney 1980 and Fox's 1980. After attending college at Yale, Foster struggled to transition into adult roles until she gained critical acclaim for playing a rape survivor in the legal drama The Accused 1988, for which she won the Academy Award for Best Actress. She won her second Academy Award 3 years later for the psychological horror The Silence of the Lambs 1991, in which she portrayed Clarice Starling. Foster made her debut as a film director the same year with Little Man Tate, and founded her own production company, Egg Pictures, in 1992. The company's first production was Nell 1994, in which she also played the title role, garnering her 4th nomination for an Academy Award. Her other successful films in the 1990s were the romantic drama Summersby, Western comedy Maverick 1994, science fiction Contact 1997, and period drama Anna and the King 1999. Foster experienced career setbacks in the early 2000s, including the cancellation of a film project and the closing down of her production company, but she then starred in 4 commercially successful thrillers: Panic Room 2002, Flight Plan 2005, Inside Man 2006, and The Brave One 2007. She has focused on directing in the 2010s, directing the films The Beaver 2011 and Money Monster 2016, as well as episodes for Netflix television series Orange is the New Black, House of Cards, and Black Mirror. She also starred in the films Carnage 2011, Elysium 2013, and Hotel Artemis 2018. Early life and education. Alicia Christian Foster was born on November 19, 1962, in Los Angeles, California, the youngest child of Evelyn Ella Brandy, née Almond, and Lucius Fisher Foster III. Her father came from a wealthy Chicago family whose forebears included John Alden, who arrived in North America on the Mayflower in 1620. He was a Yale University graduate, a decorated U.S. Air Force lieutenant colonel, and a real estate broker. He had 3 sons from an earlier marriage before marrying Brandy in Las Vegas in 1953. Brandy was of German heritage and grew up in Rockford, Illinois. Foster also has Irish roots, with ancestry that can be traced back to County Cork. Before her birth, Brandy and Lucius had 3 other children. Daughters Lucinda, Cindy, Foster born 1954, and Constance, Connie, Foster born 1955, and son Lucius Fisher, Buddy, Foster IV born 1957. Their marriage ended before Foster was born, and she never established a relationship with her father. Following the divorce, Brandy raised the children with her partner in Los Angeles. She worked as a publicist for film producer Arthur P. Jacobs, until focusing on managing the acting careers of Buddy and Jodie. Although Foster was officially named Alicia, her siblings began calling her Jodie, and the name stuck. Foster was a gifted child who learned to read at the age of 3. She attended a French-language prep school, the Lycée Français de Los Angeles. Her fluency in French has enabled her to act in French films, and she also dubs herself in French-language versions of most of her English-language films. She also understands Italian, although she does not speak it, as well as some German and Spanish. At her graduation in 1980, she delivered the valedictory address for the school's French division. Already a successful actor, Foster attended Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. She majored in literature, writing her thesis on Toni Morrison under the guidance of Henry Louis Gates Jr., and graduated magna cum laude in 1985. She returned to Yale in 1993 to address the graduating class, and was awarded an honorary Doctor of Fine Arts degree in 1997. Career: 1965–1975, early work. Foster's career began with an appearance as the Coppertone Girl in a television advertisement in 1965, when she was 3 years old. Her mother had intended only for Jodie's older brother Buddy to audition, but had taken Jodie with them to the casting call, where she was noticed by the casting agents. The television spot led to more advertising work, and in 1968 to a minor appearance in the sitcom Mayberry RFD, in which her brother starred. In the following years Foster continued working in advertising and appeared in over 50 television shows. She and her brother became the breadwinners of the family during this time. She had recurring roles in The Courtship of Eddie's Father 1969–1971, and Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice 1973, and starred opposite Christopher Connolly in the short-lived Paper Moon 1974, adapted from the hit film. Foster also appeared in films, mostly for Disney. After a role in the television film Menace on the Mountain 1970, she made her feature film debut in Napoleon and Samantha 1972, playing a girl who befriends a boy, played by Johnny Whitaker, and his pet lion. She was accidentally grabbed by the lion on set, which left her with scars on her back. Her other early film work includes the Raquel Welch vehicle Kansas City Bomber 1972, the Western One Little Indian 1973, the Mark Twain adaptation Tom Sawyer 1973, and Martin Scorsese's Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore 1974, in which she appeared in a supporting role as a ripple-drinking street kid. Foster said she loved acting as a child, and values her early work for the experience it gave her. Some people get quick breaks and declare, "I'll never do commercials. That's so lowbrow." I want to tell them, well, I'm real glad you've got a pretty face, because I worked for 20 years doing that stuff and I feel it's really invaluable. It really taught me a lot. 1976–1980, Taxi Driver and Teenage Stardom. Foster's mother was concerned that her daughter's career would end by the time she grew out of playing children, and decided that to ensure continued work and gain greater recognition, Foster should also begin acting in films for adult audiences. After the minor supporting role in Alice, Scorsese cast her in the role of a child prostitute in Taxi Driver, 1976. The Los Angeles Welfare Board initially opposed 12-year-old Foster's appearing in the film due to its violent content, but relented after Governor Pat Brown intervened and a UCLA psychiatrist assessed her. A social worker was required to accompany her on set, and her older sister Connie acted as her stand-in in sexually suggestive scenes. Foster later commented on the controversy, saying that she hated the idea that everybody thinks if a kid's going to be an actress it means that she has to play Shirley Temple or someone's little sister. During the filming, Foster developed a bond with co-star Robert De Niro, who saw serious potential in her and dedicated time rehearsing scenes with her. She described Taxi Driver as a life-changing experience and stated that it was the first time anyone asked me to create a character that wasn't myself. It was the first time I realized that acting wasn't this hobby you just sort of did, but that there was actually some craft. Taxi Driver won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. Foster also impressed journalists when she acted as French interpreter at the press conference. Taxi Driver was a critical and commercial success, and earned her a Supporting Actress Academy Award nomination, as well as 2 BAFTAs, a David D. Donatello and a National Society of Film Critics Award. The film is considered one of the best in history by the American Film Institute and Sight and Sound, and has been preserved in the National Film Registry. I wasn't a science prodigy or a math prodigy. I had a prodigious life, living in a grown-up world when I was a child. But I think my abilities were about perceptiveness, and they were about examining psychology and examining people and relationships. And I had instincts about adult stories that I shouldn't have known anything about. That's very different to all those really cool prodigies that can play piano. But I wouldn't change it for anything. I found, at a very young age, even though it's not my personality to be an actor, a way of expressing myself that allowed me to not be so lonely. Foster on her early success. Foster also acted in another film nominated for the Palme d'Or in 1976, Bugsy Malone. The British musical parodied films about Prohibition-era gangsters by having all roles played by children. Foster appeared in a major supporting role as a star of a speakeasy show. Director Alan Parker was impressed by her, saying that she takes such an intelligent interest in the way the film is being made that if I had been run over by a bus, I think she was probably the only person on the set able to take over as director. She gained several positive notices for her performance. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times stated that, at 13 she was already getting the roles that grown-up actresses complained weren't being written for women anymore. Variety described her as outstanding, and Vincent Canby of the New York Times called her the star of the show. Foster's 2 BAFTAs were awarded jointly for her performances in Taxi Driver and Bugsy Malone. Her third film release in 1976 was the independent drama Echoes of a Summer, which had been filmed 2 years previously. The New York Times named Foster's performance as a terminally ill girl the film's main strength, and Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune stated that she is not a good child actress, she's just a good actress, although both reviewers otherwise panned the film. Foster's fourth film of 1976 was the Canadian-French thriller The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane, in which she starred opposite Martin Sheen. The film combined aspects from thriller and horror genres, and showed Foster as a mysterious young girl living on her own in a small town. The performance earned her a Saturn Award. On November 27, she hosted Saturday Night Live, becoming the youngest person to do so until 1982. Her final film of the year was Freaky Friday, a Disney comedy commenting on the generation gap, which was her first true star vehicle. She played a tomboy teen who accidentally changes bodies with her mother. She later stated that her character's desire to become an adult was matched by her own feelings at the time, and that the film marked a transitional period for her when she began to grow out of child roles. It received mainly positive reviews, and was a box office success, gaining Foster a Golden Globe nomination for her performance. Personal life. In interviews, Foster rarely talks about her private life. She has explained that she values privacy against all else, due to having spent most of her life in the public eye. She lives in Los Angeles. Foster met Sydney Bernard on the set of Summersby, 1993, and was in a relationship with her from 1993 to 2008. She has 2 sons, Charles B. 1998, and Christopher B. 2001, with Bernard. She stated in 2011 that having children made her take on fewer projects. It is a big sacrifice to leave home. I want to make sure that I feel passionate about the movies I do because it is a big sacrifice. Even if you take the average movie shoot of 4 months, you have 3 weeks prep, press duties here and abroad, dubbing and looping, magazine covers, events and premieres. That's 8 months out of a year. That's a long time. If you do 2 movies back to back, you're never going to see your children. In April 2014, Foster married actress and photographer Alexandra Hedison after a year of dating. Foster's sexual orientation became the subject of public discussion in 1991 when activists protesting against the alleged homophobia in the Silence of the Lambs claimed that she was a closeted lesbian in publications such as Out Week and The Village Voice. While she had been in a relationship with Bernard for 14 years, Foster first publicly acknowledged it in a speech at the Hollywood Reporter's Women in Entertainment breakfast honoring her in 2007. In 2013, she addressed her coming out in a speech after receiving the Cecil B. DeMille Award at the 70th Golden Globe Awards, which led many news outlets to describe her as gay, although some sources noted that she did not use the words gay or lesbian in her speech. Foster is an atheist but has said it is important to teach children about different religions, stating that, "In my home, we ritualize all of them. We do Christmas. We do Shabbat on Fridays. We love Kwanzaa. I take pains to give my family a real religious basis, a knowledge, because it's being well educated. You need to know why all those wars were fought." She also supports gun control. John Hinckley incident. During her freshman year at Yale in 1980-1981, Foster was stalked by John W. Hinckley Jr., who had developed an obsession with her after watching Taxi Driver. He moved to New Haven and tried to contact her, both through letters and by phone. On March 30, 1981, Hinckley attempted to assassinate U.S. President Ronald Reagan, wounding him and 3 other people, claiming that his motive was to impress Foster. The incident attracted intense media attention, and she had to be accompanied by bodyguards while she was on campus. Although Judge Barrington D. Parker confirmed that Foster was wholly innocent in the case and had been unwittingly ensnared in a third party's alleged attempt to assassinate an American president, she was required to give videotaped testimony, which was played at the trial. During her time at Yale, Foster also had other stalkers, including Edward Richardson, who planned to murder her but changed his mind after watching her perform in a college play. The experience was difficult for Foster, and she has rarely commented publicly about it. In the aftermath of the events, she wrote an essay, Why Me?, which was published in 1982 by Esquire on the condition that there be no cover lines, no publicity and no photos. In 1991, she canceled an interview with NBC's Today Show when she discovered Hinckley would be mentioned in the introduction, and the producers were unwilling to change it. She discussed Hinckley with Charlie Rose of 60 Minutes too in 1999, explaining that she does not like to dwell on it too much. I never wanted to be the actress who was remembered for that event. Because it didn't have anything to do with me. I was kind of a hapless bystander. But, what a scarring, strange moment in history for me, to be 17 years old, 18 years old, and to be caught up in a drama like that. She stated that the incident had a major impact on her career choices, and acknowledged that her experience was minimal compared to the suffering of Reagan's press secretary James Brady, who was permanently disabled in the shooting and died as a result of his injuries 33 years later, and his loved ones. Whatever bad moments that I had certainly could never compare to that family.